Chapter 103 is a very special one. It may be the most special chapter ever for Dragon Ball Super or even Dragon Ball as a whole. The reason being that this is the last chapter that Akira Toriyama, Dragon Ball's creator, was able to work on before passing away. At the age of 68, nobody was ready to hear such tragic news. The whole world came together in order to show how much everybody loved what Akira Toriyama sensei created through 40 years of hard work. Given the situation, Chapter 103 is worthy of analyzing every little aspect of it because there is certainly a lot to unpack here. First thing that comes to one's attention is the fact that Chapter 103 in the Dragon Ball Super manga is titled Passing On to the Future. Now, this would normally be understood as some sort of moving on from Goku to Gohan, then to Goten or something along the lines, but we all know what it really implies. Toriyama Sensei was the heart and soul of Dragon Ball. His creation embodied everything he himself was, a hard-working yet easygoing individual. A creator that loved his creations, but eventually he found someone he could trust in order to have Dragon Ball keep on living, Toyotaro. The amazing artist that was chosen as the Dragon Ball Super official illustrator after his take on Dragon Ball AF has come a long way now. Chapter after chapter, cover after cover, it was possible to see how Toyotaro's mastering of the Dragon Ball art took one step after another. However, his involvement in the main storyline was still pretty much linked to Toriyama Sensei's decision-making. But with Toriyama Sensei now gone, it may very well be the time, whenever that happens, for Toyotaro to actually take on Dragon Ball Super as his main creator. Whatever happens, happens, but nowadays there's certainly no other individual that is best suited for this major endeavor than Toyotaro himself. We then start Chapter 103 by picking it all up exactly where they left it in Chapter 102. Beast Gohan and Goku MUI battling. The first couple of pages show Beast Gohan powering through Goku's defenses to the point that he kicks his father and, despite blocking the attack, is sent off flying a really long distance. The thing is, Goku already expected this from his son. Incredible potential as always, because in spite of what may be said about Goku as a father, the fact remains that he was the very first one on Earth to trust that Gohan could become its protector. Goku acknowledges Gohan changing from his past selves, especially due to the fact that he is now trained in order to strengthen his beast, and not only that, he's also learned how to use it very proficiently. The events of Superhero made Gohan understand that as strong as Goku and Vegeta are, they may not always be present in order to protect their family. That's why Gohan has taken it upon himself to be as ready as he can to defend Pan, Videl, and all his friends on Earth from whatever threat may arise. Nevertheless, Goku is not about to yield to his own son without really showing everything he's been working on. Slowly but surely, Goku starts floating, then he's suddenly gone, only to reappear at Gohan's back and hit him with a powerful combo that sends him right to the water. Gohan then attempts to strike back, but suddenly, Goku's powered up MUI is enough to avoid each and every one of Gohan's attacks. It doesn't matter whether there are direct, frontal attacks, or if he is coming from a blind spot, Goku just avoids all of Gohan's attacks. But this is not it for Beast Gohan. Right when Vegeta was certain that the fight was clearly in favor of Goku, both father and son came to a halt. In the same way that Goku expected the power of Gohan through his beast form, Gohan also expected that the power of his father's UI was going to be a tricky technique to deal with Goku explaining that UI allows him to avoid every attack thrown at him. Gohan specifies that Beast isn't quite like that, and starts charging up a massive amount of ki. Broly and Vegeta didn't expect to see such an incredible display of power, and Vegeta is even unsure whether Gohan will actually be able to properly use all of the massive power he's gathered in a few seconds, but he does. And he throws himself towards Goku at a speed no one anticipated. Gohan's attacks are so incredibly overpowered at this point that a single punch in the air is able to cause massive destruction on his surroundings. And it is at this point that Goku's powered up MUI is starting to not be enough in order to stop all of Gohan's attacks. Little by little, Gohan starts to make some contact with Goku's body until he is able to properly hit Goku. And so flying off goes Goku once again. It's at this point that Gohan provides an interesting explanation regarding how he's able to power up himself to the point that not even Goku's UI is able to respond to every single move of his. It turns out that the prior massive power-up was about trying to push himself to a point that he'd lose all control over himself, but at the very last second stabilizing that power in order to be able to use it. According to his explanations, it looks like Gohan is now able to muster up all the power that his Rage Boost gave him in the past, but using it at will, which obviously translates into an overall power-up that sets him to new heights. Goku then powers down for a little bit while conversing with Gohan, and then powers up again to continue their fight. But at this moment, there's some interesting statements in the sidelines. Beerus wonders whether Gohan's power is that of a Super Saiyan, but Whis acknowledges that the nature of Beast is neither that of a Saiyan nor a divine being, but rather he is simply specially gifted. Beerus does not seem happy at this remark, maybe at the fact that Gohan's power is so special that not even him would be able to obtain it as much as he trained. It is at this point that Broly becomes infatuated at Gohan's power demonstration, which does not escape Goku's attention. Yes, at the same time he is fending off Gohan's attacks while using MUI, he even notices how Broly reacts to his son's power. Quite the feat. Even as Gohan is still interested in fighting his father, Goku simply powers down since he is satisfied with what he's seen so far from Gohan. And there's an important remark from Goku. Earth is now in safe hands, even when I'm not there. Like it or not, Goku and Vegeta always had to keep an eye on Earth in order to make sure something like Superhero didn't happen. But now that Gohan and Piccolo as well have achieved such an incredible level of power, it really looks like both Saiyans will be able to redirect their attention to whatever universal challenges they are faced with. After this, Goku leads the way towards the next big battle in Chapter 103, Gohan vs. Broly. Yes, Goku asks his son to fight no other than the Berserk Super Saiyan, and Broly obviously accepts the offer. Right before this next battle begins, Vegeta asks Goku if he is satisfied with how his battle with Gohan has concluded, that is, with no real winner. But that was something Goku wasn't interested in, which again speaks volumes about his real passion in life, finding powerful opponents to fight. And with Gohan it was all the same. He just wanted to check how powerful his son had become, and he is certainly satisfied with it. But why has Goku presented this scenario for Broly and Gohan? Well, it turns out he actually considers them to be kinda similar, and Vegeta acknowledges that Broly does give off that beast vibe. After all, both Broly and Gohan have the biggest potential in battle amongst all of them, a potential that is nurtured by their rage. The major difference between the two of them right now is that Gohan is able to actually control that wild strength, while Broly is still unable to tap into his Saiyan heritage without completely losing his mind. Or is he? The battle starts with Broly and Gohan respectfully greeting each other, and then following the salutation with a quick initial exchange. But Broly is not in this for a regular sparring match. He knows exactly what he wants, to fight the beast form. Without questioning it, Gohan accepts the request and immediately transforms after a backflip, because why not add some flourish to it? After transforming into the beast state, Gohan throws himself at Broly, who really struggles to block Gohan's attack due to how hard he hits in his unique transformation. At this point, Broly is defenseless against Beast's attacks. First hit with a punch to the face, then a kick. It is obvious that Broly needs to react in some sort of way, as Vegeta notes, and he certainly does so. For the very first time since the DBS Broly events, Broly fully transforms into his Super Saiyan state. The sheer amount of raw power emanating from him is enough to push back Gohan still in the beast transformation, which is certainly no small feat. Obviously, there is a major difference from the events of the movie to this. Broly is actually conscious and in control of his actions. It turns out that Gohan's influence and explanation regarding how he uses Beast must have had some sort of effect on Broly. This really does not come as a surprise, because just like Goku said a few pages before, Broly and Gohan are actually pretty similar when it comes to their powers. Goku and Vegeta are beyond themselves after witnessing Broly being able to properly use the Super Saiyan transformation, while Gohan on the other hand is overwhelmed by Broly's strength. It's unlike anyone's Super Saiyan, says Gohan, and he is completely right. Broly's Super Saiyan power is able to match that of Beast Gohan. Nevertheless, given that Gohan has complete control over his newfound state, he is still able to assert dominance in the fight. It is at this point that Gohan's display of power has impressed everyone so much that Whis shoots the inevitable question. So does that make him another candidate for the next God of Destruction? For quite some time now, it has certainly looked like Beerus is looking for someone to take his place in the future as the God of Destruction in Universe 7. First, it was about teaching Vegeta how to use the Ultra Ego state, then plainly offering the position to Goku even though Goku himself refused immediately. For Gohan though, Beerus thinks that Gohan is the serious type, and so he wouldn't resort to destruction when it came to. And he is not wrong. However, not because of Gohan being serious, but because Goku's son has shown time and time again that he believes all lives to be precious. Which explains both his rage during his Super Saiyan 2 initial transformation against Cell, as well as the reason that he became an entomologist. Is Broly then the next top candidate to become a God of Destruction? There's another hint in this very same chapter that may point to that possibility, but there's more stuff to work with before delving into that idea. After Beerus and Whis' comments, Goten and Trunks finally defuse right at the same time that Vegeta's patience grows short. All of them want to fight Gohan now. Well, more precisely, it is Vegeta who wants to fight Gohan, and Goten and Trunks are actually curious about Broly. Nevertheless, in the end, all of them end up fighting together in a massive melee that funnily has Goten mistakenly attacking Trunks. With Goku joining the fight as well, they all end up completely exhausted and having destroyed quite a big chunk of Beerus' planet. Having concluded their battle royale, Limo prepares some delicious food for everybody to enjoy, even the members of the Red Ribbon Army that are still present at Beerus' planet. Surprisingly, it does not look like Vegeta is aware of what the Red Ribbon Army is despite all his multiple battles in the Android saga. It is at this point that Goku suggests the idea of going back home for a while. A suggestion Vegeta agrees with since he doesn't want Bulma to forget about him. Goku says his goodbyes to Whis and Beerus and promises to come back soon, then uses his instant transmission to get to Earth after sensing Piccolo's newly improved ki. When Goku gathers everyone to get back to Earth, Broly is obviously not among them. He will be staying at Beerus' planet alongside Limo and Chilai just like he's been doing for quite some time now. However, right now he is actually able to use Super Saiyan unlike before, which begs the question, will this now interest Beerus in having Broly become the next God of Destruction? Unlike Vegeta, Broly has no ties anywhere else that may hold him back while taking the step to becoming a God of Destruction, and he certainly has the potential and destructive power to become one of them. Considering that both Goku and Gohan look like a pretty clear no for the God of Destruction position, unless Beerus is even considering Black Frieza to succeed him, there will not be that many better options left. It's also pretty clear that Beerus and Whis have been monitoring Broly's development as a fighter, and his ability to now use Super Saiyan is a major step forward that, once again, puts him really close to the level of all the other Saiyans. What's for certain is that Broly can now work towards furthering his Saiyan potential, and it will for sure yield some crazy results in time. Goku and everyone else arrive to Earth right next to Piccolo, who is actually pretty angry at the Red Ribbon Army guys. Nevertheless, Carmine and company promise to finally end their evil deeds in order to establish themselves in a legal line of work. For instance, developing drugs. After all, they come to the obvious conclusion that with guys like Gohan, Goku, Vegeta, and Piccolo around, they'll never be able to come up with a good enough plan that allows them to control Earth. It's after Carmine is gone that Goku tries to convince Piccolo for a quick fight, but Piccolo refuses since he has to pick up Pan from school with Gohan. But then, just for the tiniest of milliseconds, Goku completely forgets about Pan, something that enrages even Vegeta. The Prince of Saiyans is not wrong. Among all Goku's situations, forgetting about his own granddaughter is probably the biggest, worst mistake he's ever made. And it obviously comes with consequences, having to tag along in the pickup mission. Goku, Gohan, and Piccolo all go together to pick up Pan at school, and surprisingly, in the same way that Goku forgot about Pan, it turns out that Pan had mostly forgotten about Goku. Although this is easier to understand given that Goku is very rarely around and that she is still a little kid. It wouldn't be surprising if Pan considers Piccolo more of a grandfather as of right now than Goku. Pan is actually still not really sure about Goku's identity to the point that she tries to attack him, but after having her kick blocked, she seems to finally realize who Goku really is. After this awkward encounter, they all leave the scene together, with the final goodbye being made by Piccolo. It comes as no surprise that Piccolo is the one to leave the final goodbye in Chapter 103, given that he was Akira Toriyama's favorite character. In a way, Piccolo saying goodbye is similar to Toriyama himself saying goodbye to all of us Dragon Ball fans, which is probably the intention behind this tiny scene. The homage to Akira Toriyama does not stop with this reference to his tastes as the Dragon Ball creator, but also through a dedicated message that reads as follows. Akira Toriyama Sensei, who published many works in Jump magazines, has passed away. The entire V-Jump editorial staff is deeply saddened by the sudden news of his passing. We would like to express our gratitude to Toriyama Sensei for his great achievements, and we pray for his soulful rest in peace. A heartfelt message that certainly matches how all of the Dragon Ball fans felt upon learning the news of Sensei's passing, in spite of the fact that Toriyama Sensei's health had not been the best for a while now. This message stating that his passing is sudden certainly seems to suggest that it wasn't expected that Akira Toriyama got so bad to the point that he couldn't recover himself. In the end, it certainly looks like no one was prepared for such a tragic moment. Together with the final goodbye towards Akira Toriyama comes the confirmation of the Dragon Ball Super manga going on hiatus. There's no confirmation regarding when the manga will come back, and given that it is officially stated that we will be on hiatus from the next issue, it looks like they are preparing to completely stop the manga for at least a few months now. With the Dragon Ball Daima anime coming out during the fall of this year and the Sparking Zero video game also releasing in 2024, the manga can easily take a step back even if it was about to introduce a whole new story arc. The pain Toyotaro must be going through while working on Dragon Ball right now is certainly difficult to even imagine. So it really comes as no surprise that we will not be getting new Dragon Ball content for a while. Even if we all came together as a community after learning of Toriyama Sensei's death, this is a situation that can only be healed through time. Therefore, now more than ever, it is time to support Toyotaro as well as everyone that was involved with the creation of the Dragon Ball manga. May Akira Toriyama's soul rest in peace, and much love to everyone out there in the Dragon Ball community.